Okay, we are live. So Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. So we welcome you for today's Throwback Thursday, organized by ISKCON Seshadripuram. And today we have with us our very special guest, His Grace Simheswara Prabhu. So Simheswara Prabhuji, I'll just give a brief intro about Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is connected to Krishna consciousness since 1981. So that's like, close to 44 years. So Prabhuji is serving in this moment for close to 44 years. And Prabhuji has, throughout his, Prabhuji has rendered multiple lot of services. Like he was serving as a traveling sankirtan leader. He was also served as a temple president for ISKCON Kuala Lumpur, and currently Prabhuji is a co-regional secretary for ISKCON Malaysia and also director for ISKCON Malaysia Farms. And Prabhuji also was part of the building project of Sri Radha Krishna Temple of Devotion and Understanding, which is in Penang, Malaysia, which is a very beautiful temple. So Prabhuji was part of the building project of that. He was basically chairman for that particular project, and this was officially opened in 2015. So very beautiful temple. So we want to welcome Prabhuji by chanting one time Hare Krishna, and it's a great honor that we have Prabhuji with us today, and we'll receive his association. So we want to welcome Prabhuji by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama.
Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitanamine, Namacharya Parayani Taika Prabhudayani, Gorakata Damadayana Gragram Tharine, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pracharini, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschata Destarine, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you all very much for inviting me to speak on Guru Maharaj. And so the services that I've done, actually, I'm quite insignificant, and I joined the movement. I was coming to the movement in 1981 as a guest, and then only in 1983 I got more serious. And the first time I met Srila Guru Maharaj was in 1983, and I I heard about him since 1981, but only in 83 I got to know, met him when he came to the Kuala Lumpur temple, and I was just arranging some books in a room, and he passed by and he knocked on the door. He opened the door, and there he was, this huge figure, and I was with his Grace Janananda Prabhu at that time. Now His Holiness Janananda Goswami. So we were just arranging some books, and Guru Maharaj that time saw me, and he asked me a question immediately as soon as he saw. He says, "How many rounds are you chanting? Hare Krishna, how many rounds?" And I wasn't really chanting that time. I was more interested in reading, and I thought chanting was not very important. And so I just fumbled. I couldn't answer Guru Maharaj. And he just stared, looked right into my eyes, and turned around and walked away. And it is only from that point I started chanting 16 rounds. Then I knew how important it is. Because before that, met so many devotees, they would tell me, chant, 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 they will say chant. But they never really asked me the question, like Guru Maharaj asked me a question, how many rounds, And so then I started my 16 rounds. And so the next day, I stayed in the temple, and the next day, I was still working that time. And so the next day in the morning, after the morning prayers, it was raining. So there was another brahmachari. He was already living in the temple at that time. I was just coming and going. And so Guru Maharaj wanted to go for a walk. It was raining. So he just looked at that brahmachari and signaled for an umbrella. I was quite fast and I got the umbrella. So I walked with him. I held the umbrella with him, and I was barefoot walking with him in the rain. Then after some time, he saw me barefoot. He said, "You should use slippers." Anyhow, that time we had a good walk, and then we stopped over at a bus stop, a bus stand, and he sat down. And then I got my opportunity to ask question. And during 1981 and 83, ISKCON went through some problems in Malaysia over the change of Guru and GBC, and there were some issues with the management, and therefore I was sort of cut off for some time. And I had met Gaudiya Math members also during that time. And so I was reading both sides, books from both sides. So this came an opportunity for me to ask Guru Maharaj about Gaudiya Math. So I asked Guru Maharaj, what Gaudiya Math, and Guru Maharaj, he thought for a long time. Then he answered. He said they are also from the Vaishnava Sampradaya, and we are following Srila Prabhupada. And so we will stick to Srila Prabhupada. And so he gave a very gentle answer, yet very straight and serious. And that answer seemed very satisfied me a lot. And that we are dedicating to Srila Prabhupada, and we concentrate, and that is our goal. So that and I was very happy with that. And then in 1984, the next when he came, maybe 1-2 trips after he came, then I got my initiation in 84, around October or so, or December. And then in 1985, I gave up my job and I joined the temple as a resident preacher. So, and since that time, I've been doing all these services. And these services, it's not because I'm qualified, I got these services. It seemed like the umbrella story, just that I was at the right time at the right place and I got these services, these responsible services. Not that I was a qualified person. I'm sure if there was somebody else around that time with an umbrella, they would have got a chance. So that's my position, that I'm just at the right time and right place with Guru Maharaj in many occasions, actually, in my services. I consider that I was just fortunate to be given the chance to serve. Also, when Guru Maharaj was in Spain, when he had encountered a fanatic who had attacked him in a life-threatening situation, and I had gone there to serve Guru Maharaj. So this is very important, that is service to Guru. And so sometimes we see it is glorification of spiritual master is a must. Yet we see in the nectar of devotion, it is mentioned that we shouldn't eulogize or praise someone in front of the deity. Yet we see that on the Vyas Puja, the deity curtains are open and we praise the spiritual master. in front of the deity, and so we may see how is this. And actually, it is very important for us to note that Krishna himself had wanted, his devotees to be glorified. As for ourselves, we shouldn't be showing our pride before the deity or thinking ourselves to be the best worshipper and all these things. We shouldn't praise ourselves, in fact, in front of our spiritual master. And it is mentioned that we should offer obeisances loudly to the spiritual master. And so therefore, but it comes Vyas Puja, we praise the spiritual master in front of the Supreme Lord, their lordships, and Lord Sri Krishna himself is very happy when we can offer such praises. In the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there can be no one more dear to him than one who preaches this message to the devotees. So this is very important. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and that he will come to me, and there is no servant in the world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So this is, we see Lord Sri Krishna himself is saying. So therefore, this is what the life of Srila Guru Maharaj is. He is preaching to the devotees. He is lifting them up and trying so many ways how to keep us engaged in devotional service. And so this personality whom we praise in front of the deity, as this personality whom Krishna is saying, that he is explaining the supreme secret to the devotees. And so that is taking all risks. Guru Maharaj, you can see, is taking, so before his health issues, he was taking different risks, traveling risks and preaching in different countries and being attacked by fanatics. And then later his health issues came and taking so much of risk, health risk, and carrying on preaching continuously. Like it's like, sometimes you have these movies when they drive a car and the car gets beaten up like anything. The doors fly, the windows fly, the wipers fly, everything flies. And Guru Maharaj's body, we can see that practically he's facing health issues like nobody else has ever faced. Yet he is moving, yet he is flying, and yet he is preaching non-stop, continuously, without any hindrance. So that is this devotee that Krishna is speaking about, who takes all risk and who is doing it for the sake of the Supreme Lord, but not only that, because his spiritual master had said so. So Srila Guru Maharaj dedication to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted him to travel and preach. Srila Prabhupada wanted him to develop Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada wanted it to distribute, unbelievable amount of books. Srila Prabhupada wanted him to expand the movement, preaching so much. So many things that he received from Srila Prabhupada, and he is making it a point to carry it out in whatever condition he is in. So this is a very extraordinary situation that Guru Maharaj is in, and it's nothing can stop him. So for such a spiritual master, we benefit by glorification of such a spiritual master. Tad vidi pranipatena pariprashnena. So we go around looking. In Guru Maharaj's life, you see that he actually looked for a spiritual master. He looked for the teachings of Buddha. Then he found Srila Prabhupada. Then he went to Canada. He was going. Srila Prabhupada is coming from the disciplic succession. And here Guru Maharaj is going towards the disciplic succession. Pariprashnena, sevaya, and is serving and going around, looking, surrender. Nowadays in ISKCON, I don't know if I should say we are lucky or we are just that actually we are not, one should approach a spiritual master. But nowadays I think it is more like the spiritual master is approaching us. It has become so convenient in ISKCON that we don't go and work first to get the money, then to get a flight ticket, and then to go to this place in India, in Mayapur, and then go and see a spiritual master, inquire from him, serve him, then we get initiation. It seems, doesn't seem, in most cases we see nowadays, is he comes to where we are. Not many actually are going towards a spiritual. Actually, it's the spiritual master is coming to us. So we see how easy it is made in this Kali Yuga that the Guru comes to you. We are very, very, very fortunate, I would say, in that sense, that we are getting this opportunity to actually. Generally, the disciple goes looking. In the Vedic times, they will go looking for a master. They serve him, and there are many conditions, they serve, and they sometimes they are put to test. In the case of Satyakama Jabala, he was put to test by the spiritual master Gautama Muni, and he said that, I have 400 cows. You should take care of all these cows, which are practically sick cows. They are very sick, and Satyakama Jabala said, yeah, I will look after. In fact, I'll bring back 1,000 healthy cows. So he actually did that. And then he got the, when his guru came back, then the guru taught him the subject of Brahman and spiritual life. So in Guru Maharaj's life, we see he was in the university and he had like the best student. Then he left. He went looking for Srila Prabhupada. He got Srila Prabhupada. And then he went to Mayapur. He stayed there and he preached a country that is not his. And then he went there and developed. So you can just imagine this tremendous amount of faith and dedication to Srila Prabhupada he had to do such a service and to become an Indian citizen and carry out these activities. It is it's a tremendous dedication to Srila Prabhupada and tremendous mercy that he got from Srila Prabhupada for such a service that is still continuing on. So that is such a spiritual master. We should always glorify and think about him, serve him, and see what we can do, and pray to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna that we can continue serving him. Though, of course, Guru Maharaj is always pushing. And Guru Maharaj pushing is always for services to serve Krishna. There is no other thing actually. Yeah, each time he comes, you do this, you preach the message, give different ideas by which you can expand the movement, different ideas by which you can, develop youth preaching, develop, Grihastha preaching, develop so many other activities like that. So it's always about preaching. That is what Krishna said in the Bhagavad 1859 in this very confidential knowledge. And that is what is going on in the life of Guru Maharaj. So, and so we are very, very benefited to have such a spiritual master. And it is also mentioned that, when have a spiritual master, if in our mind and intelligence in our heart and soul, we are not able to bow down and be a humble servant, that means we must be really menial. Then we shouldn't accept such a spiritual master, actually. That means we are being more intelligent, which the spiritual master must be above everything. Then only will we be able to be humble and do all that is needed to have that humility. So that we should understand very much. So I was to speak also on what was the second one was so therefore praising the spiritual master, we should always glorify him for his services to Srila Prabhupada, and we can glorify him by our services to him. Whatever that we are given to do, and if we can do such services as instructed by him and to his pleasure, that in itself is glorification of the spiritual master. So this is very important. Actually, when we think of glorification, we shouldn't think it's only a verbal glorification, but we should see that by our actions, we are actually glorifying the spiritual master by seeing how a disciple is, the spiritual master is glorified by seeing the disciples' action, by seeing the disciples' dedication and services, then his spiritual master is glorified. So this is how we can take our services more seriously and more carefully, which will actually be glorification of Srila Guru Maharaj. In the beginning days when Guru Maharaj visited Malaysia, that was when it's more regular in 1983. Earlier, first he came during the issues of the GBC, the management issues, and then he stayed in Malaysia for a continuous 30 days or more and sorted out all the problems, administration and spiritual levels, everything, and got our society back in order. Everything was settled, and then Guru Maharaj went, and then he kept coming regularly because he knew this yatra needed help. So then in the early days, he used to come and he used to visit not big cities, small towns, small homes, small villages, small houses, small devotees, everything small. Guru Maharaj was visiting people around. It's not like when you have sometimes gurus come and it's all in a very big scale. They do big programs somewhere and then they go back. But Guru Maharaj was going practically every town and village because this is practically it's the same thing which Srila Prabhupada did in 1971 when he visited Malaysia, that within 5 days he visited about 5 places. And that's not 20 minutes away. Each place was about 4 hours away, 4 hours away. So every day Srila Prabhupada was going to a different town, different city, and it's all in 71. It was all like, bad taxis, bad roads. Malaysia is just like any other third world country. And Prabhupada made it from Kuala Lumpur to Penang and came back. So within that, he went 5 days. Srila Prabhupada went practically half of the country. He went and came back. So Guru Maharaj, he came. He was going to practically any invitation that is given, he would never refuse. So there would be invitation in the north of Malaysia. There will be one invitation in the south of Malaysia, in the east, in the west. And it was all driving by car. I know that I used to personally drive Guru Maharaj. At that time, we don't have driver. So I used to drive him and all around the country. And we would visit all these simple houses where anybody had a slight interest in Krishna consciousness. He would go and we would do programs. And then we began with Rath Yatras in Kuala Lumpur. Then people get interested in the small towns, and then they would like to have a Rath Yatra, so Guru Maharaj should go there, and then we do another Rath Yatra. Like this, practically our ISKCON branches in Malaysia, they came up because of Rath Yatras. Lord Jagannath was like the main preacher in that sense. And in that town, there would be a Rath Yatra, then only a temple would come up. And another group of devotees congregation would see, and then they say, we like to have a Rath Yatra in our place. And then Guru Maharaj will say yes, and then he will fly and he'll come. And then there'll be a Rath Yatra, and then another branch comes up. So like this, about 30 over centers and branches came up just because everywhere we had this Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra. So the Lord Jagannath is really very merciful. Together with Guru Maharaj, very merciful Malaysia that we have all these centers developed mainly because of Rath Yatras up till today. There are that many of Rath Yatras going on in this small village. So Guru Maharaj never refused any what do you call invitations. He would accept them all and go and preach to the family, to the children, to the big leaders. And he even met the king, met even the sultans, royal families, met big leaders, a royal family. One time for Janmashtami, they came to Malaysia, to our temple, and even preached to them. So like that, Srila Guru Maharaj was very simple in his own way, yet very profound when he was preaching Krishna consciousness. And so he had many services. One of a very important pastime I would like to say is that during the early days in Malaysia, I think the last time when I was called to speak in the same program, I spoke about the Spain, the pastime in Spain, Madrid. But this time I'll speak about another pastime. Where ISKCON was going through some problems with the local Hindus. You see, in Southeast Asia, like Indonesia, Singapore, there are some Hindus who actually objected to Krishna consciousness. And because the Saivite community is very big, most of the people who came from India to Malaysia, they were all from the followers of Lord Shiva, Shaivites. And so they were from Sri Lanka, from Tamil Nadu, like that. Not so many Krishna devotees. So Tamil was a very powerful language, and Shaivism was a very powerful religion in Malaysia for the Tamils. And so during that time, it was very sensitive. And devotees, which Srila Prabhupada had come 1971, And later also when they came, it is said that they may have spoken very strongly against demigod worship. And so the Hindus got offended, especially in Indonesia and Singapore, that devotees were not able to carry out or register the Society for Krishna Consciousness. But Malaysia, they were a bit more tolerant. We were able to register our society. But nevertheless, they had a stigma that we were preaching against Lord Shiva. So there was this leader of the Hindu Sangam. He was from the university and Tamil language, and he wrote bad articles about us in his magazine called Shakti. And he was at that time the president of the Malaysia Hindu Sangam. So I was that time the general secretary of ISKCON, and I was also the temple president for Kuala Lumpur. So when I saw this, I thought we should counter what he's writing. So I sort of asked the help of devotees in Malaysia, Dr. Adipurush, they were very good in Tamil, Dr. Shanti Rupa Mataji. So they were refuting this man's article. So it became like a war. So it became somewhat like a big debate, and it became very tense. The article was going in the papers and all that. So then Guru Maharaj came to Malaysia, and this news went to him. So then in a town in Telokintan, Guru Maharaj and we were speaking about it. Then he said, no, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done this public debate. People won't understand. So then I said, Guru Maharaj, anyhow, in Kuala Lumpur, we're having a chariot festival. We will invite the Hindu Sangam leader to attend, and we can meet him, you know. So Guru Maharaj agreed and all that. So we went to other towns first, and then finally we came to Kuala Lumpur. So the chariot festival started, and this Hindu Sangam leader, he was given the honors to inaugurate the festival. And Guru Maharaj was supposed to come, but his flight got delayed, and I went to pick him up, and I was also delayed together with Guru Maharaj. So the festival had gone for about 2.5 hours or so, and another 1 kilometer it would end at the Lakshmi Narayan temple. So when I drove in with Guru Maharaj, there were like about 1,000 devotees in the main trunk road of Kuala Lumpur to the north of Malaysia, and the temple was somewhere in the trunk road. So, and when I drove in, there were this many devotees. As soon as Guru Maharaj got down, all the like 1,000 devotees, they just fell flat on the on the road, and they paid obeisance. And practically only three of us were standing. That was me, Guru Maharaj, and the Hindu Sangam president. And that was like the introduction between them. They looked at each other. And so then the chariot festival continued towards the end at Lakshmi Narayan temple. And so when it ended, so then at the stage, I was introducing different speakers and all that. So finally, then we had to call this Sangam president to give his speech. At the same time, I was very worried, is he going to talk bad about ISKCON, because he had already published bad articles in his magazine called Shakti. And so we took the risk and, invited him and asked him to speak. And to our surprise, actually, he started off by saying, I'm very happy to have come for this inauguration. And then he said, I just saw about an hour before when Swamiji came, he arrived. I saw that all these hundreds of devotees fell flat on the road. And I've never seen this in other Hindu movements or societies. I've seen here and I am very touched by it. And then he said, this is the real Guru Bhakti that I have seen. And he was so impressed by that, by the devotees' uh, etiquette in paying respects to the spiritual master. And he spoke about it in length. And he said, this is how it should be. He said, all the Hindus should learn from ISKCON Guru Bhakti. And it was, what we expected was going to be a disaster. It turned out just by getting the mercy of Guru Maharaj. And this man's heart had melted. And he spoke so positively. And not only that, in the next article in his magazine, he actually wrote the same thing. He says, Hindus, if they want Guru Bhakti, they should learn from ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So just by the presence of Guru Maharaj, our problems were solved. We didn't have to debate. We didn't have to write articles. We didn't have to refute him. We didn't have to do any of these things. And, it got solved. And then I was called into even as an advisory member of the Hindu Sangam for Religious Advisory Board. I'm still sitting there today as in the advisory board. So, and one of our Mataji, she became the chairperson for the Hindu Sangam. So our relation became very good with the Hindu Sangam, and things got smoother, and our respects were very high actually. The societies, they respected ISKCON very much, and up to date it goes on. And this is all due to Guru Maharaj's mercy. And it is not easy, because in a place where the Shaivites rule, the 80% or so Shaivites, and the same thing in Singapore and in Indonesia, like that, or the smarter Brahmanas, you can say, while ISKCON is just a small, but to have recognition is it's a big thing. And so we do programs, we did many things like that without any hindrances thereon. Rather, we were respected very well. And so this is so important to have a spiritual master who, like Srila Guru Maharaj, who has that spiritual energy and touch and mercy that he gives to one and every one. And as far as Srila Guru Maharaj's dedication to Srila Prabhupada, I'd like to tell one incident where when I was in Mayapur, and Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami, I was doing my Gayatri in the temple room in Mayapur. And while doing my Gayatri, I noticed Srila Guru Maharaj was standing near the exhibition hall. That time they had these exhibits of Lord Chaitanya. And it was very like panic, like Guru Maharaj was like in a shock. So I immediately finished my Gayatri and I went to Guru Maharaj, and then Guru Maharaj said, we just heard that Tamal Krishna Maharaj had an accident. So then he said, you go to the reception area and there'll be taxis. You can join us. We'll go. So then I went there, and so we had about 4 or 5 vehicles, and I was got into the vehicle together with Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj and all that. Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj went earlier. So of course, we didn't know the condition of Tamal Krishna Maharaj. We just heard the accident. But on arriving, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj broke the news that Maharaj had actually, gone back to Godhead. And Guru Maharaj, of course, immediately cried. Tears were coming from his eyes. And in fact, he said, why, we didn't have better check on the driver and this and all that. And then, so we were running. While that was happening, there were other devotees who were injured from New Zealand, Mataji, Kala Samvara Prabhu's wife. So I had to rush buying tablets, medicines for her, because the hospital was a small hospital. They didn't have medicine, but there was a pharmaceutical shop outside. I had to buy. By the time I came back, and she also had left her body. And so then Guru Maharaj had to go and get the, what you call, the administration done to get Tamal Krishna Maharaj out of the hospital to take to Mayapur. It was such a big process because it was accident. And so they had to do postmortem and all these police reports and all that. So then, of course, Guru Maharaj very humbly spoke to them not to do the postmortem. And they said they must do. So finally, I think a very small incision was done, not big. And so then I followed Guru Maharaj to the police, where the police is there to get the report out. So Guru Maharaj was making the report. And then, so while he was making the report, the police inspector in duty asked Guru Maharaj, okay, Tamal Krishna Maharaj's name, it was in the passport, Thomas, I think it was Thomas something. So Thomas something, then the police inspector, he asked Guru Maharaj, so what's his father's name? And then Guru Maharaj said, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And the policeman was shocked. He said, no, this American, Thomas, what is his father's name? Srila Guru Maharaj again answered, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And a third time, he answered the same. And then the discussion went in Bengali. I didn't understand anything after that. So he was discussing with Guru Maharaj, the police inspector, and then Guru Maharaj insisted that Tamal Krishna Maharaj, son of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And finally, the police inspector actually wrote that Guru Maharaj had convinced him that he's a spiritual son and this is the name that should go. So I was seeing how very particular Guru Maharaj was to make sure that it is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada is the father. So the spiritual master is a real father for the disciple. And I saw that it was going very tense and very long. Guru Maharaj even established and got it written down as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So like this, many incidents I've seen how Srila Guru Maharaj is very, very, very particular when it comes to pleasing Srila Prabhupada. He was very, very particular in such services. In Malaysia, whenever he used to come, he used to, always speak exactly like what Srila Prabhupada would have wanted, And so this, and the times that Guru Maharaj had to deal with issues, the issues that went through, we didn't go just to one issue. There was 81, we had an issue. Then again, 87, there were another series of guru issues, of leaving the movement. And then we were hit with that. That was also a difficult time. And we had to deal with so much issues about it's a very shaky time in ISKCON in 86, 87 during that time. And we can see how difficult it was to keep the movement going. And it's not easy, but Srila Guru Maharaj always kept it very tight and very, but in his very humble humility, he kept always with Srila Prabhupada and made sure that this movement goes on without any hindrances. He'll do whatever it takes. Guru Maharaj does whatever it takes to keep the Prabhupada's movement going. So these things are very, very important. I saw in Guru Maharaj about how serious he was. He is in serving Srila Prabhupada. And so like this, he developed Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and he used to make frequent visits also to Indonesia. And so in Southeast Asia, we are very lucky to have him. And together with him, there were, of course, His Grace Prabhu Vishnu Prabhu, His Holiness Jananda Goswami Maharaj, and His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj. We were lucky to, and our His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Nandana Swami Maharaj, as a Malaysia. So together they developed ISKCON Malaysia. It is where because of their mercy. And there are many pastimes which we can tell, but Guru Maharaj, that will take long time. And we have about 12 minutes. So there are any questions or any comments or discussions, we can take it. Hare Krishna, I hope I have glorified Srila Guru Maharaj and spoke about him for your pleasure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments, questions.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So if devotee has any question, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you one by one. So like while there are questions, so thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing, so many wonderful pastimes and different leelas of Guru Maharaj. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is like, if we take name of Goranga, then even difficult things becomes easy. So I just read that, and I was thinking like how that actually works. And like when you told this particular pastime, like where this particular person, I forgot the name, this Hindu Sangam something
Yeah,
like.
leader. His name, yeah. Hindu Sangam leader, the president of the Hindu Sangam.
So when
Malaysia Hindu Sangam. It's a
so
it's a highly respected body by the government. So anything that the Hindus do, if we go against them, we are in trouble.
okay.
Because the government takes their word. They are like the umbrella body. So, and we actually had a head-on with them in 1986 or so, so that was dangerous actually. But by Guru Maharaj's just presence, mercy, and his, you know, aura and all that, he solved it very easily without any much trouble.
Yeah,
It got solved very easily, actually.
yeah. So that's what I was actually relating to, like just because there is a devotee of Goranga, and then just by Guru Maharaj presence, everything like the way you told, like how it was a heated debate kind of before, and then Guru Maharaj came, and then he was fully positive. I was not expecting that. I was thinking, maybe Prabhuji would say something bad he did, and then Guru Maharaj. But then
And and I think the devotees, on the devotees part, just by paying obeisances, you can solve problems.
yeah, Prabhuji.
Just
Definitely.
by paying obeisance to Guru, you can solve problems. So that is so important to keep paying obeisances.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Mm.
I see a hand up. Lalitangi Radha Mataji, is it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderfully narrating Guru Maharaj's qualities and how dedicated he was. And also, we have heard many things done with dedication by senior devotees like you in the beginning, absorbing the mood of Guru Maharaj and helping the movement to establish for the past 25, 30 or more years. So, Prabhuji, one forum you shared about that you coming to Rameshwaram and buying the Shanka for the Shanka Abhishekam, and there was
Oh, yes.
LTT.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, if we would like to hear that, if possible.
Yeah, that was in around 1996. I was trying to raise funds for the temple in Kuala Lumpur. We wanted to buy some land, and so then I got together with the committee members, and the 1 year before I had done 108 Shankabhishek. That was quite easy. I just bought the Shankas from Vrindavan and brought it with me. That was no problem. So then when the devotees saw it was successful, so this time we had a meeting. They said, since it's Prabhupada's centennial, let's have 1008. So I said, well, if you want to do 1,000 and we have to work very hard. So the congregation, they were all very fired up, very cooperative. And they said, Prabhu, you just bring the shank and we will get it all done over this part. Your duty is to bring. We will get the other parts also. Then I took, we didn't have much time. Uh, we didn't have much time. So I rushed to India together with one boy as my assistant, and here they were signing up members like anything, they were signing up without any problem, the Shankar sponsorship. So news was coming to me in Chennai. I was in Chennai and Banu Maharaj was there, that they are signing up over 500, close to 600, 700. But I was not able to get the shanks. I had gone to, I had carried cash. I mean, I was so stupid, silly, that I carried cash in a big, case. And together with me, Sumitra Prabhu and one other Prabhu, in a bus, the ISKCON Chennai bus, we went to Rameshwaram, past Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram, and stayed at the Gujarati ashram. The first day we went around looking for the suppliers. There were only 3 main suppliers, and 3 of them put together. The first day I was not so. Finally, then only Sumitra and Prabhu and all that, we spoke. Oh, I'm carrying cash. It is so dangerous. The small town, everybody will know. So I practically put the cash under my head and I slept and locked it to my arms, to my wrist, and sort of slept. And then the next day, we said we must give out the money and buy whatever shanks there. So we managed to gather 1,200, not to our, liking the sizes. And yeah, we got it all loaded on the bus and we went. So then the next thing was to get it cleared, so I'm supposed to send it by ship. But then the what do you call, the customs officer was there. There was one man, he was very nice, and he sort of almost signed. But then there was a Brahmin above him. He said, no, 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 this is a protected item, restricted item, so we can't give you permission. Actually, he was assistant to the other man. And then I was thinking, oh my God, I thought the Brahmin should be helping us, not giving us disturbance. So then he said, you should go to Delhi to get the account cleared. And you should go to the fisheries department. You should go here, go there. I was running around every place without any success. So finally, then I thought there's no other way. In anxiety, telling me, when are you leaving? When are you taking this back? Have you got permission? He was in big anxiety. So finally, I said, Maharaj, there's no way. I'm going to take it with me on the flight. There were 18 big trunks, these aluminum trunks, they're very big. The big trunks, they were like about 1.5 feet by 3 feet by 1.5 feet, like that. Big trunks, 18,200 shanks. So then His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj had come one day, about 3 days before. Then I said, okay, Maharaj, you and your servant take about, 8 trunks. I will take the balance, we will try taking 8 and go. So we took this to the airport and put it in the scanner, and this huge aluminum trunks, and just seeing that, I'm sure they're going to stop us, but things went quite smooth, actually. It went through the scanner, and the guy who was scanning, he was so nice, he pushed it. Then it went, then another officer came, and he said, oh, Swamiji, you come, took us to the check-in counter, and they did all the check-in for ourselves, put it, and I thought I was dreaming. I honestly thought I expected a lot of problems. I expected many problems, from this scanning to the overweight to the customs. Nothing of that. Everything was too good that I wouldn't want to trust it. So then I was looking up to the point where the trunks I can see are going to be loaded, So it got past finally. I was so relieved, And then I actually asked the officer, customs officer, what is, I said, like, what's the occasion? What is it that, it's so surprising? What is it that's, you're so nice to us? Then he said, you don't know? He said, yesterday, this tall Swami, big size, he came and he gave us prasadam. Every one of us got prasadam. And then immediately, there is only one tall Swami, one big size Swami, that's Srila Guru Maharaj. That he had come one day before and he was flying from India and he was going somewhere else. So he had passed by Chennai. Or he was coming from somewhere past Chennai and going Maipur, one of these. But he transited Chennai airport. And just one day before, so it was very fresh in their mind. And Guru Maharaj had given everybody, those days he used to carry this big tiffin with this gaja, I think the cube sweets, sugar-coated sweets. So he gave, like, everybody knew, everybody like known, everybody in the airport, that time was the old airport. So it was a smaller airport and, they can see us. So everything got checked in. Then I immediately told, tomorrow I've got another 10. I was flying the next day. I said, he said, no problem, you bring, So we brought, and, the whole thing got cleared and I hardly paid any excess baggage. It was too cheap, nothing more than the shipping. It was much less even if I were to ship these things, they were huge, overweight, So then I see just Guru Maharaj blessings, cleared the way, because I had problems with whether it can be exported, then whether it can be shipped. Finally, it came with us just on flight, it just went straight. So I can just remember that how, just by the mercy of spiritual master. And otherwise I was like shivering every day. What's going to happen? Then we had a very nice festival. Guru Maharaj attended. And that was the one where even the local royal sultans attended that festival. Hare Krishna. Since a rush. Yeah. So again,
Thank you
how
so much.
Guru Maharaj helped me.
Yes, Prabhuji, because of sacrifices like this of you and being so dedicated to Guru Maharaj, we are all able to get big temples like this now. So we are very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji, for sharing
Hare
this, and please
Krishna.
bless us that we can follow your footsteps and have a bit of dedication like this. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Very well.
Wonderful to hear, Simheswara Prabhu. Sukhakar
Pardon?
Krishnadas. Wonderful to hear from you, Simheswara Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I have seen you once, I think, in Mathura Desh. You come to Muscat once, I think. You come.
Oh, yeah. I came to,
Yes,
I went to Saudi.
Saudi. And also Dubai, Sharjah,
Jeddah.
somewhere I met. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
In
Also,
Damodar Desh, along with Shivalla Prabhu.
yeah.
I'm Sukhakar Krishnadas, your god brother.
Wonderful meeting you.
Pleasure
Now I'm
is
more in
mine.
the farm.
Yes.
I'm with the cows now.
Oh, Gosala.
Yeah.
We are also going to have 40 temples in Tamil Nadu now. And each temple will have 250,000 cows. So 1 crore cows I have to arrange the next 3 months.
1 crore
Crore.
cows.
Because in Tamil Nadu, they have been telling that Sanatana Dharma is just like Corona, we have to drive them out. So we want to bring Gosala in 40 temples. Each temple, 250,000 cows. So when so many cows come, Krishna will come dancing. Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you, Akshay Prabhu, for bringing such stalwarts, Simheswara Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Romba sandoshma irukku.
Nandri.
Nandri.
So, Prabhuji, there is one question from Bhuvneshwari Rukmini Mataji. So it's already 9. I'm not sure. Is it late for you, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I'm okay. No problem.
So there's a question from Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Please bless me. In my very limited capacity, by the guidance of my teachers, I am trying to raise funds for Bhaktivedanta University in Vrindavan through VIP preaching program, a project of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. At times, I really feel limited and lose inspiration. Are there any pastimes of Guru Maharaj related to VIP preaching?
VIP preaching, yeah. There's, I said there was this Janmashtami actually, and we had this person who was very enthused when we did the 1008 Shank. He got to know about it. It's some other movement, but he was very excited. So he brought the royal family to the festival, and they are Muslims, So anyhow, so they came, and then so they went into the Guru Maharaj's room, and Guru Maharaj, Prabhu Maharaj, and Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, they were in the room with all these royal people sitting, and they were very humble. Actually, they sat on the floor, and they are the prince of two states, Sultan and Kelantan and Perlis. And so Malaysia has nine royal families, 9 states, So these two, they came, and then they were very interested in seeing Guru Maharaj. And so many of their questions were about vegetarianism, you know. So then Guru Maharaj was speaking, and finally they asked Guru Maharaj about what is this hair on the back of the head, the tuft, the shika. Can you please explain why are you having it? So it was, I was very, very observant. I wanted to know how is Guru Maharaj going to explain this to them. And so Guru Maharaj was very, very interesting and very technical about it in the sense. At the same time, he made it so easy for them to understand. So he said, you see, actually, it's not, we are not the only one who are having this stuff, which is called a shika in our actually, in every religion, it is there. So they were shocked, actually, they didn't know themselves. So he said, this shika is on the top back part of the head, and it is the most chaste part of the head. So that chaste part of the head has to be covered. So the hair is there to cover it. Then he said in the Muslims, they use the kropia hat, small. And the Jewish rabbi, they have that as well. And then the Punjabis, they have the big turbans covering. And then they have the Buddhist monks who have, or the Chinese monks rather, who have big shikas, covering the head. So he said, this is the chest part. So we all cover the head just like you. You go to you cover that part. And they were actually shocked, They say, yeah, we never realized that. And then, so I was going in and out of the room, paying obeisance and coming out. And then one of the prince, his wife, she told me, I'm very touched by what you're doing. Each time you see your guru, you fall to the ground and you pay respect. And I could understand she appreciated it because they come from the royal family where respect is very important. So they were very, very cordial with Guru Maharaj and all that. So, and similarly, Guru Maharaj used to preach to VIPs, and many people who come, like leaders of the societies, they've come to meet Guru Maharaj in Malaysia, and he would sit and he would talk. And it would be very simple, actually. Guru Maharaj will be very simple, and that's the attractive part about it. Yet he would deliver the message in a very in a way that it's easily acceptable. That is how Guru Maharaj dealt with everyone, actually. And at the same time, when Guru Maharaj presents himself, I could see that whoever he preached to, they felt that he is a superior personality, and they had to respect him. That thing was always there with whichever VIP we brought to Guru Maharaj. They always felt that he has a spiritual personality, you have to be very careful and respectful towards him. So this was always the case with Guru Maharaj and VIPs like that. And he always gave them prasadam. Always. whoever it was, VIP, he would hand them some of these gajas, I think it's called gaja. He would give them prasad, always. And that time he even had mantra cards. He would give mantra cards and things like that. Guru Maharaj used to have the Samskara Patram, that where they write their names and then they would say, I pledge to chant 1 round a day, 2 round. So we carried this all over Malaysia. This was a big tool in our preaching. And Guru Maharaj would sign every single card. People would line up, hundreds of them, and he would sign the card, and he will circle 1 to 10, I think. Then he will he will circle one number. That means the higher it is, the better prospect of them to be a devotee. Just within about 20 seconds talking to them, he would put circle 2, 5, 7. So then, we would use these cards to go and make life members. Sell Bhagavatams, sell books, and, so we'll be fighting for the cards. Hare Krishna. I don't know if I answered your question of this VIP.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for sharing, Prabhuji. These pastimes are really very relishable and literally filled me. And whatever Guru Maharaj does is always so extraordinary. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for narrating.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my brother in Singapore has been good association with you, Gokulanand Gopal Das.
What's his name?
Gokulanand Gopal Das. He was with KPMG partners, so he always tells about you.
Oh, KPMG. Okay.
Yeah. You have been so much serving Guru Maharaj in Malaysia, Singapore, wherever he goes. I was the Yatra leader for Sharjah and Ajman, Shamadesh and Siva Sangandis.
I see.
For 20 years.
Wow.
The chartered accountant, retired now in Chennai.
So now you can give your experience.
Yes.
To where are you in Bangalore, right?
Chennai.
Yeah, you can.
So I seek your blessings. You are my elder brother.
You can give all your experience to Chennai, It's nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Akshay Prabhu is doing a wonderful thing. Every week he brings so many great VIPs. So
yeah,
we get to relish.
He has a very, what do you call,
most tolerant.
Bright face.
Yes.
It's devotees' mercy that they kindly come on this platform and give their association to all of us, so that we can all get closer to Guru Maharaj by hearing. And yeah, so many teachings I learned from today's association from Prabhuji, especially like when I talk to people, like when I do some class, I just tell like we should chant. But today I learned that I should ask them like how many rounds you are chanting. So I found very
That's the other
powerful.
way.
Yes.
Rather than telling them chant, if you ask how many rounds, then it has I found that it has bigger impact.
Yes. Guru Maharaj is coming to Chennai day after tomorrow. 3 days in Chennai, Kumbakonam 5 days.
I thought today he landed in Chennai.
Today.
Yeah, he landed in Chennai.
Then in Madurai for 7 days. So many initiations going to happen.
That's nice. Wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Akshay Prabhu. Thank you, Simheswara Prabhu. Seek your blessings.
I'm going to Chennai, actually. I'm going to Madurai on the 28th, actually.
So we'll meet there.
Yeah, for 2-3 days I'll be there, then back to
31st is initiation day.
Yeah.
31st, huh?
Yeah. Till 4th he's in Madurai. Till 4th of April.
I will be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Hare then. Krishna. Thank you all so much. Sorry to keep you all waiting.
Thank you for giving your wonderful and valuable association to all of us, so that we can also get more connected to Guru Maharaj, know about how he deals with devotees and different ways he tries to encourage all of us. And like I really like those pastimes where like by Guru Maharaj's presence things became very smooth. So that also gives me more desire, like I should also have desire to serve Guru Maharaj, feel more connected to him, do things for his pleasure, so that yeah. So thank you, Prabhuji, for giving
Yeah.
this.
Hare Krishna.
behalf of
Thank
all
you
those,
so much.
okay, we would like to thank by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Jai
Thank
Srila
you,
Guru
Prabhuji.
Maharaj,
Thank you so
Srila
much.
Thank you,
Prabhupada,
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Jai.
Wonderful.
Om
Thank you.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
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 Jai.